dusting off the Jimbovision for Spider-Man Homecoming. Hello, once blue and red, thinks like a teenager and is up weird hours on the web. Donald Trump's Twitter, for one. But also Spider-Man, back on our screens in Homecoming. The slightly rubbish title, by the way, a cheeky wink from Marvel Studios to the fact that they finally got creative control back over their most iconic character. Now this is Spider-Man's 6th film in 15 years, putting it right up there with Of Course There's a Place for You in My Next Picture as the most used story in Hollywood. But the good news is that this version is one of the best. Homecoming continues the slightly left-field approach to the superhero world that we saw in Ant-Man. It's packed, mostly, with wit and verve and kicks off with a particularly brilliant opening Gambit, Peter Parker's very own video diary of his movie-stealing Captain America Civil War appearance.
There's Captain America, there's Iron Man. Whoa, look at that new guy, who's that? Underoos? That's my cue, I gotta go. I started a fight with Captain America and I stole his shield and I threw it at him. The hell, he's big now, I gotta go.
Not only is this behind-the-scenes look deeply funny, it also puts Parker right where Stan Lee and Steve Ditko always intended him, as a giddy high school geek whose secret identity is both his cross and also a bit like all his Christmases come at once. And Marvel and director John Watts could not have picked a peppier Peter Parker for this than Tom Holland. With his enthusiasm, his athleticism and his clumsy charm, he is, I would say, the most authentic Spider-Man we've had yet. As for the rest of the lineup, well, Marisa Tomei was a swerving lane change of a casting call last time out as Aunt May, but she does fine in her limited screen time here. More noteworthy, perhaps, are Parker's high school colleagues, particularly Disney Channel's Zendaya with her winning line in scene-stealing snark, and Jacob Batalon as Parker's bosom buddy, Ned. The villain, meanwhile, is Michael Keaton, who's previously been the Bat and the Birdman, but is here, for once not leaving bite marks all over the scenery, as a blue-collar bad guy, just trying to bounce back after getting stiffed by the Stark Corporation. And interestingly, Stark Corporation come out of this movie a long way from being the good guys. And that leads us on rather nicely to what is, for me, the film's one problem: Tony Stark himself. Now, the first Iron Man movie really kick-started Marvel's run of successes, and it's tempting to think that the studio now see Stark as their trump card, dropping him in to rubber stamp their movies with a few well-timed appearances. Problem is, though, not only is Downey Jr. quite literally phoning it in this one, but his presence seriously disrupts this reboot. Spidey, if I may get my geek on, was created by Lee and Ditko specifically as a teenage antithesis of all the grown-up heroes. His awkward independence has always been his key characteristic. Having him thus puppy up here to Stark and his increasingly corporate-looking Avengers just feels wrong. And more damaging still is Stark's gift to him of an upgraded spider suit, pimped up with an array of new powers, cute tech, and oh dear, his own Jarvis.
Good evening, Peter.
Hello?
You have 576 possible web shooter combinations.
Awesome!
Spider web.
Whoa!
Web grenade.
Web grenade.
Reconnaissance drone.
Whoa.
Yes, I'm fine with the radioactive spider bite, but I draw the line at Siri and 500 new web flavors. Now, it's no coincidence that the scenes with this new suit are comparatively flat, the movie becoming just another superhero story. It's only when Parker then has to fall back on his own resources, with a remarkable and redemptive for all concerned fight scene on a plane, that the film really springs back into life. Still, spring back it certainly does, so don't let me give you the impression for all that Homecoming isn't great fun and certainly worth you watching. Holland is brilliant, the 6 credited screenplay writers come up with at least a couple of hearty laughs each, and while I personally would have liked a little bit less Stark and a little bit more homespun J. Jonah Jamesery, I'd still put this at number 2 of my all-time favourite Spider-Man films. Just below, in fact, the second Tobey Maguire outing, the one with Dr. Octopus, but streets ahead of Andrew Garfield's Ant-Man and the sincerely execrable Spider-Man 3. The best story then, probably, about swinging on the web since Ashley Madison got their mailing list hacked. Spider-Man Homecoming gets a whopping 7.5 out of 10 on Jimbovision. Go see it. Ooh, one last footnote if I may. While Spider-Man was for me the best thing about Captain America Civil War, the Captain returns the favour here with a series of no perfect cameos, the last of which is well worth waiting for. Also, do join me every week for more reviews on Truth and Movies, a Little White Lies podcast.